whole new century is coming, Louis. And Mr. Vargo wants every member of his family to make it a priority to erase this weirdo.
This guy is a professional. Going after him could be very dangerous.
Better him than you, right, Louis?
Every day, without fail, one should consider himself as dead.
They're gonna whack you, Ghost Dog. If they don't find you, they're gonna whack me instead.
Get the message off.
If a samurai's head were to be suddenly cut off, he should still be able to perform
One more action with certainty. What is that supposed to mean?
It's poetry. The poetry of war.
I've been expecting you.
It all starts with the pad and then so we begin to work watching this rap session. Once again on the run, me the Black Stallion. Can I hear it? Nigga, and bang your head, punk. And it don't stop.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Chop-Socky Cinema, the show where we like to keep you nice and hydrated with as much clean water as we can scrounge up. I'm Josh.
I'm William.
And this is actually the end of our Wu-Tang month. Wu-Tang! And we did something just a little bit different for this one. We actually did it pretty much, except for maybe a very brief portion, a completely non-kung fu movie.
Yes, very much so. But yet, keeping in like some traditions, it was a very much of a, I guess, philosophical samurai movie in some aspects.
Oh no, I mean it's cool because it's actually like a gangster movie and a samurai movie.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
That movie, of course, is Jim Jarmusch's 1999 movie Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker,
Which is one of my favorites.
A metric ton of gangster character actors.
Dude, I don't think there's a single person that played a gangster in that movie that wasn't actually a gangster in some movie at some point.
Yeah, but they're all easily recognizable. But, I mean, and how does this fit in with the Wu-Tang? Well, mainly because the RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan scored the entire movie.
And has a short cameo in it as well.
This is pretty much the point where the RZA as an artist kind of started evolving his game from being like being a member of the Wu-Tang Clan to the point where he is now, where I mean he occasionally directs, he does scores. When you hear on paper, it sounds like it might be not that great. I mean, Forrest Whitaker plays an urban man that is acting like a samurai, and actually, I mean, it really works because he lives his life by an antiquated code.
Yes.
I mean, the Book of the Hagakure, to be specific. That's the one thing that he quotes. And his lord is I would say mid-level mafia guy, because he's not one of the main guys.
No, he's more of a fixer type of guy.
Yeah.
He would be that guy that you need a henchman to do a job, and you have this job that he needs doing, but you don't have a henchman, so he has that henchman to do that job for you.
Yep. And actually, one of the things, let me go ahead and read you guys a quick synopsis of Ghost Dog.
Well, my actual dog decides to join us on the couch.
And speaking of dogs, again, also with us is Titan, the official Chop-Socky temple dog.
He likes to sit on my stomach and make it hard for me to breathe.
Alright, anyways, and this Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai ingeniously reimagines the gangster movie as a cross-cultural fusion of Eastern philosophy, hip-hop music, urban darkness, and movie iconography. Ghost Dog, a man of few words who shares his rooftop home with dozens of pigeons, lives by the precepts of the 18th century warrior text Hagakure, The Way of the Samurai, practicing the ancient disciplines of the samurai and applying them to his work as a contract killer.
Yes. And the Hagakure actually loosely translates to "in the shadow of leaves," which I actually kind of like that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's like I may or may not have read it 8, 9, 20, 30 times and have owned several versions of it. Maybe.
Oh, no, what I mean? Like I said, I also love this movie. I mean, in college, I actually used Ghost Dog as part of a paper that I wrote for a film class.
Which is awesome.
Basically focusing just on the concept of the portrayal of organized crime in movies as an antiquated tribe almost. And I mean, just examples of this, like the fact that these mobsters, I mean, first of all, there's none of them that are like younger than they're probably 50 years old in this movie. They're all old and fat and
like very, very out of shape. Oh no, maybe
the guy quoting Flavor Flav was probably the most in shape out of all the gangsters.
Well, him and his cousin.
Yeah.
His cousin, and the dude that was Valerio's cousin, and the dude that was Valerio's bodyguard.
Yeah.
Those might have been the three most in shape people as far as the gangsters go.
And then, I mean, the fact is, usually, this kind of flips mafia tropes on their head, where usually the mafia are the ones shaking people down for, like, rent protection money. But on two separate occasions, for two different landlord times, these mafia guys are getting hassled by landlords. Like,
and business owners.
They have their meetings in a Chinese restaurant, and they're actually getting hustled for rent money by the owner of the Chinese restaurant. And later, they're meeting in a social club. And it's not these guys, these landlords are not connected at all.
No,
they're just random everyday business owners. That, I mean, really one of the things about this is a theme that keeps going. Ghost Dog says this several times. It's like sometimes the ancient ways are best.
Yes, I'm kind of a firm believer in that.
But and just the one thing about this is that there's lots of little cool you'll hear Ghost Dog reading a section, sometimes word for word, sometimes paraphrase from the Hagakure, and then the next few sequences kind of exemplifies what he just said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I like how you were talking about how the cartoons are kind of specific for what's about. It's like its own version of foreshadowing.
Yeah,
I never noticed that till you said
yeah, because basically throughout the movie, the gangsters are watching Looney Tunes cartoons. Well, some Looney Tunes, some other things like Felix the Cat, Woody Woodpecker, and
there was an Itchy and Scratchy cartoon.
Yeah, basically where the cartoons either foreshadow or reference something that just happened. There's one part where the gangster's watching this cartoon where a hunter fires a shotgun up a drain pipe and it hits the guy in the shower, and then afterwards, Ghost Dog basically unscrews the gangster's plumbing and shoots him through the drain of his sink.
Which I still think is kind of cool.
Yeah, they do that moment where you pours with Ghost Dog's just I think gives me an idea. And the cool thing is, I mean, he doesn't just follow the path of the samurai. He even arms himself like a samurai, sort of. He has a daisho of sorts. He has it's a Colt. The Colt's pretty much his katana, isn't it?
Yeah, it's either a Colt or a Sig. One of the two. I haven't really.
Yeah, he basically has dual silence pistols, one of which is a larger caliber than the other. I mean, you see him practicing with a samurai sword and with
a machete, and then there's some other just regular katas that he practices.
But all right, what did we like about this movie?
I'm a huge fan of cinematography, and I love the way this movie was shot. Mm-hmm. I like how there's not a lot of flash in this movie too. Because most gangster films are full of flash and all kinds of stuff.
I agree with you there, William. I really liked how this was a dark movie, and not thematically. I mean, it was just it was a very just cinematographically dark movie.
I actually enjoyed that a lot. I like the use of passages as transitions for scenes. And some of the gadgets were kind of cool, too.
That's something I like about this is that, Ghost Dog had a lot of really cool toys. But it was neat that his life generally, it was very compartmentalized. I mean, he lived right up above a electronics store, which I presume that's where he got most of his quote-unquote high-tech gadgets was from said electronics store.
That, and I think he made a few of them, too, so there's that. What are you doing? What in the world? What are you doing?
liked about it is just the. There's one thing that Ghost Dog says at the end of it is that he's explaining the situation to his best friend, whom is a Haitian ice cream seller that only speaks French. And I remember we saw this theaters originally in the 90s. They had subtitles for the Haitian. The version that we watched did not have subtitles, so...
I was going off of what I remembered and when me and my sister watched this at one point, because she at one point spoke semi-fluent French, so she knew exactly what it was saying, and she kind of translated some of the stuff I didn't get. Because they didn't actually have subtitles for everything he was saying, but like for the direct interactions and stuff.
One thing I like is that even though Ghost Dog, he doesn't speak much. He's a pretty stoic dude. Even though, but however, when even in his own way, Ghost Dog kind of shows a very dry sense of humor, if not violent sense of humor. Where at one point, Lou, his lord, says, "Shoot me," and he does. He shoots him in the shoulder. Like, why did you do that? You told me to. He's like, and you
not quite what he meant.
He's like, and I am your retainer. I mean, no disrespect. And then there's one point he sees some white trash like hunters on the side of the road. They killed a bear, and he's like, "Oh, is it bear season? Like, what? You a fed?" And then they make random stereotypical like racial lines towards him, and then he says that sometimes bears are considered, in ancient times, bears were considered equal to men. And he's like, "Well, we ain't in ancient times." And he's like, "Yeah, we are."
What's something I guess we dislike about this movie?
Not really. The only thing is that it's not even like a real heavy dislike, but it is a very like measured pace for this movie.
Yeah. Even though it's like, I don't remember what the runtime was, but I remember making a comment.
It feels longer than it is.
Yeah, it feels longer than it actually is.
But that's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm not bored to tears, but and that's really the only thing. It's just a very minor, that's me splitting hairs about this.
Yeah. I mean, that was really only my complaint was it just, even though it's not really by today's standards, it's about the length of an average action film, which is like roughly an hour and a half, hour to 40 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it's about 2 hours, and it's really not.
But I mean, and then
the dude with the ship on the roof, that was awesome.
Yeah, and that actually the ice cream seller, he's a really popular, especially now, character actor.
Yes.
And actually, Jim Jarmusch, the director, has used Isaac Banquo in a lot of his movies.
Oh, that's right. That is good.
But and really, as far as final thoughts, I remember I saw this back right around we were just getting out of high school. Just a really cool, quirky, different kind of crime movie. And I just like how the director Jim Jarmusch and the RZA together, they basically everything works together.
Yep.
I mean, in interviews, RZA actually designed this was he actually designed a leitmotif for Ghost Dog. Ghost Dog's theme when he's walking down the road, and the beat is syncopated to the flap of pigeon wings. And the thing is, you watch it. I mean, you can watch it and you just count it, and it's pretty much. It's not quite dead on, but
yeah, it's close enough.
It's close enough.
You definitely are just like, oh crap.
Now, as far as Paper Cranes, what do we want to give this, William? What would you give it?
I'll give it 4.5. Because even though this is one of my favorite movies, I'm really don't give too many things a perfect score. And in all honesty, I don't like giving things a perfect score. So, but I will give it 4.5. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite mixes of cultures because I'm a huge samurai fan. So there's that.
And I'd also give it a 4.5. I mean, just solid performances by everybody in it. Even though Forrest Whitaker is definitely the most well-known actor in the movie, but
yes,
really everybody in there just solid work. And the RZA's soundtrack is really good. You hear a lot of stuff that's kind of RZA trademarks, like trumpets. He uses trumpets a good.
Sons of Man. That's who those guys were.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, there was a there was a rap group in the park, and apparently
I believe that's who they were. I believe that's because most of the guys that were in some way, shape, or form in the movie were part of RZA's label, Razor Sharp. So, and Sons of Man was a group on that label as well.
But like I said, guys, this one is not as easy to find as some of our other movies. I think the only way, I think Starz has the rights to it now. Because, to look over it on Amazon, it said watch for free on the Amazon Starz app.
Oh, God. Okay.
But, I mean, you can rent it from Amazon. Also, if you wanted to pick it up, it wouldn't cost you that much. The movies.
Probably like $4 if you can find it at Walmart or Best Buy or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Because, the movie's just shy of being 20 years old now.
Yeah. And Netflix does have it on occasionally, but it's like...
Not currently.
Not currently, and when they do have it on there, it's usually for like a couple of weeks or a month, and then it's just gone immediately again.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and this marks the end of our Wu-Tang month. Wu-Tang! And next month, we're moving on to our next theme, which is Kung Fu Comedy, which is going to heavily feature the Cantonese comedic stylings of Stephen Chow. We're going to do God of Cookery, Shaolin Soccer, Kung Fu Hustle, and I don't know what we're going to do for East Meets West for this one. We'll figure that one out when we get there. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'm Josh.
William.
And we will catch you at the Chop-Socky house.